Twitter has turned into a complete war zone today over the new Super Mario Brothers movie that is coming out this weekend, and a lot of it has to do with the Rotten Tomatoes score that is currently trending on Twitter because everyone is calling out critics in the most hilarious way imaginable. As you can see, it is currently sitting at a 54% rotten from critics with a 95% fresh from audiences, and the critics have this to say: while it's nowhere near as thrilling as turtle tipping your way to 128 lives, the Super Mario Brothers movie is a colorful, albeit thinly plotted, animated adventure that has about as many Nintendos as Nintendon'ts. What? That's like one of the worst descriptions I've ever seen on Rotten Tomatoes, and this just goes to show that these critics are so out of touch with what the audience truly want, and that is so obvious, especially in this score. And today, we have to take a look at some of the ways that Twitter is absolutely destroying these critics in the most glorious way imaginable, where you show that a lot of them are pointing out that critics were also the same people that were willing to give Cuties on Netflix an 87% fresh. This is the problem with critics. They are not only are they completely out of touch, but they are uber woke. They don't understand what audiences actually want. They don't understand what we actually want. And this is why there is so much of a disparity between the ratings that critics give movies and audiences give movies. We see it all the time. And so we have Chris Pratt who's just basically reassuring us to go check out the film because he thinks that a lot of us will enjoy it. And it looks like that is definitely the way that this is shaping out to be.
Come watch the movie and then we can talk. I really think that, like, once you see the movie, I think that in all honesty, the answer though is that this is a passionate fan base and it makes sense. Like, I understand, I'm part of it. This is the soundtrack to your youth. Yeah. And you don't want.
And that's all stuff that the critics totally do not understand whatsoever. And then you have this, of course, which is something that I need to just point out because it is something that we need to be aware of. The Super Mario Brothers movie star Anya Taylor-Joy says that she was only interested in voicing a modern Princess Peach. I felt like we could create a more three-dimensional character. Which is something that we just see all the time coming from Hollywood. Now, whether this means that the movie is going to be totally terrible, I don't think so, but that's something that I'm going to have to check out myself, but this is what she had to say about it. Before I met everybody, I thought, oh, I really want to do this, but I only want to do it if she is a modern, not only princess, but ruler. So, of course, trying to bring in some sort of feminist message into the film, which is something that we kind of got a bit of a red flag with when we saw this pop up in the film or in the trailer for it. She's really a leader in this. I felt like we could create a more three-dimensional character that had her own agency. I was so thrilled when I first met everybody that everyone was on the same page. We all wanted to do the same thing. That just made for a very exciting process because there are moments where I did want to call back on the original game and have that fandom pay off in that way. But also, it wouldn't have worked for the whole of the movie. She's a three-dimensional character now. You have to have colors in her voice. I just felt very grateful that I was supported every step of the way and that there wasn't any pushback. So, there's different ways that you can interpret what she's saying here, but obviously that is something that is a bit of a concern, I have to admit. So with that being said, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Let me know if you've seen Super Mario Brothers, what you think about it, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.